let me get connected with these two. So I'll be connecting with them with the serial ports, which is point-to-point link. And okay, let's start it. So let's start configuring it. So guys, what I'll do is you all have gone through with the protocol called RIP, right? So today I'll show you few things that you might have not gone through or you might haven't heard before for RIP protocol, RIP version 2. So RIP is actually you can say it's completely legacy actually. Uh, but it is a open standard protocol which can run on any network device, not even Cisco. You can run on Juniper's or any of the network devices like the Ruckus, like the Aruba. You can HP, Dell. So RIP is the protocol, but still the RIP version 1 is gone away nowadays, but RIP version 2 is still there. So let me just start configuring these two routers and we'll understand some of the basic. So I'm just configuring the interface serial 2 by 0 and just assigning the IP address. So first of all, you might have, you must know about that RIP version 2 is your classless protocol, which understands VLSM, right? Variable length subnet masking, which understand these two. And the RIP version 1 doesn't do that. RIP version 1 will not support that. So let me configure this device R1 as classless only. Let me say IP address 192.168.1.1, and I'll be configuring as /30 between these two. So 252, right? No shutdown. And I'm taking for the backend networks, which I'll assume that it is coming from our LAN side. So I'm just configuring two loopbacks over here. So loopbacks are the virtual interfaces. You already must have know about it. So interface loopback 1, and I'll be saying something called 1.1.1. And I'll be taking this as also a classless one because I'm taking as a /24 value for this, but it's actually class A1, right? That's it. And let me take one more loop back. Let's say loop back 2, IP address 2.2.2.2, 255.255.255.0. I'm sorry, what was it? I went into the loop back, interface loop back 2, IP address. Let's take it as a one. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So loopbacks, you don't have to do no shutdown because in the routers, all the interfaces are by default administratively down. So I'll say show IP interface brief. You can see I have just configured the interface for R1 for the serial interface. And you can see over here, this is showing that it's up, but it's showing the protocol is down. The reason being this other side is not configured yet, or even might be the cable has some issues. So if you see protocol down, that means there is some issues with your point-to-point protocol, which is by default working as a HDLC protocol behind this PPP link. You can say the serial link. So let's start this router. Let's configure this R2. Let's wait for it to boot up. Yep, it's here, config T. So I'm just configuring here also interface serial 2 by 0 and say IP address 192.168.1.2. And as I'm taking this as a /30, so 252, no shutdown is mandatory. But in real environment, you must have to give the clock rate to sync the serials, right? But as this is a virtualization, so it's not required. This link will come up. If the clock rate is not there, then it might show you the protocol down other side. So that's the one thing. Let me configure loopback here also. Let's say loopback 1. Here I will give the IP address of 11 dot, right. I'll take this as also as /24. interface loop back 2. I'll take it as a 12. So this I'm taking just to have some networks available when we'll run the protocol to see in the routing table, right? So router maintains the table that is called routing table, right? So I'll say show IP interface brief here also. So guys, right now nothing is running, and as it is point-to-point links, they can communicate with each other. But if you try to ping from R2 to their loopbacks, it will not communicate. So just first of all, let me ping to one. So it's pinging the R1. But if I'll try to communicate the loopback, which is 1.1.1, you can see it will not ping that one. The reason being there is no routing protocol running. So you can see it's not pinging. And let it be. And let me go to the R1. And if you see the command, sorry, if you see the command show IP protocols, which will show you the which all protocols. So nothing is running right now. And if you'll say show IP route, you can see there is no routes apart from the connected one, which is connected. Those only the routes it's showing right now, right? So let me run rip over here and then I'll show you a few things. So the router rip, and as I'm starting the version 2, right? And let your things advertise the network 192.168.1.0, which is your network ID. And let me advertise my loop bags as well and say 1.1.1.0 and network 2.2.2.0. So you can see right now I have ran the pip right now. So if I'll say show IP protocols, okay. So
Excuse
please
me, sir.
mute.
Your font is blurry too.
Yeah, please mute your mics, guys, whoever has switched on mistakenly. So you can see, guys, here, if you see RIP protocol, it is telling you that right now the RIP is running and it is advertising these networks. It is taking by default all network as a class full because we cannot, there is no procedure of giving subnet mask over here while advertising the network or the wildcard bits. We cannot assign like that. Oh, font. Let me increase the font. I'm sorry. Change settings. Mm, appearance. Okay, now you should be able to. Let's say bold, fly. Now it's fine. Okay, so so yeah, what I was showing you is the. Let me again run show IP protocol. Okay, so oh, sorry, show IP route also or show IP protocol. Okay. So you can see right now it is running this one and the AD value, which is 120. And you can see it can send version 2 packets. So version 2 packets means it will be only able to send you the multicast address, which is 224.0.0.9. And if you want to see, I don't know you have seen earlier or not, I'll show you that with the help of debug. If we, but always remember that debug is not something which you run in the production environment, right? Because debug take a lot of processing powers and all. So you must have run like in a change window or in a downtime. You must have taken that, and then you will be running these debugs and troubleshooting the enterprise network. But right now, as we just want to understand how exactly things going on, so we can do the debugs. So as I told you that RIP version 2 sends the multicast address and the update and the multicast address, and it only sends the uh, uh, periodic update, which means it after every 30 seconds. So you can see the sending update every 30 seconds, which is the update timer of RIP, right? And it will always send the 30-second update. Either the router 2 knows or not, it keeps sending, so it is wasting our bandwidth also. That's why this distance vector routing protocol we don't use in that much environment because it's not that scalable actually. And one more thing is for RIP version 2 or the either the RIP, it supports only 15 hops, means its metric, which is it is calculating, it's only calculating according to the hop count, and hop count is just 15 for this rep, and 16th will be unreachable, means it will be marking that route as a possibly down route. And after one more like after 3 minutes it will mark as a possibly down, which is 180 seconds, and after one more 120 seconds it will flush it down. That is flush timer, like it will remove it from the routing table. But right now what I want to show you is, so first router is running rep but router 2 is not, right? So let me show you something. I'll say I'll do the debug IP rip. Okay, so I am just debugging the rip packet. So it will show me what type of packets it's trying to send right now to R1 and R2, or to the neighbor right now. So you can see debugging is on, as the update will go after every 30 seconds. So might be the if I'll say show IP protocols. So the next due in 14 seconds. So next 14 seconds you will be seeing the some packets going on here. Here it is. So so you can see, let me just switch it off the debug. So you can do undebug all command, or I'll say you all, otherwise it will keep coming after every 30 seconds. So I have just switched it on. Let's analyze the debug right now. So you can see it is sending version 2 update on the 224.0.0.9, which is the multicast address. And why it is using multicast address? Because we want not to broadcast, right? Because RIP version 1 used to do the broadcast updates so that everybody listens. But here it is doing the on the multicast. The reason being behind that is, so if interviewer asks you why that RIP version 2 do the multicast, it is because it want to send the updates to a group or to the person who know that specific language, right? Broadcast means everybody can understand that. But if the person, second person understand what is 224.0.0.9, then only he's going to take this version 2 update, right? But you can see few things, right? So you can see over here few things. It's sending something by a loopback, and a loopback in our case is, you can think like that. Let me just take some PC over here, and we can think that way, that this is R1 is connected to this virtual PC over here, and this PC is running something 1.1.1 network, right? So, but it is sending the update to this one, right? But here, let's say if somebody, some hacker is sitting, if he can like if it is a broadcast for him, it will be very easy to like capture these packets and saying that, oh, I am also router, give me all those updates, right? To stop that, what we can do is we can stop these kind of updates on the loopback also, right? And I'll show you two ways to do that. And let's first of all do one thing. Let's run rip on another side. But another side, what I'll do is, I don't run the rip version 2. I'll run rip version 1, and let's see what exactly will happen. Which router will gonna receive the packet. So the update, those. Let me increase the font size for this also. Sorry, appearance change something 14, 20, whatever. Hold. Okay, here it is. So let me show you right now, show IP protocols. Right now it is not running anything. I'm sorry. So let's say config T router rip, enter. That's it. And I'll advertise my networks, right? So I'll show you like what networks. So it's this one, and it has something 11.11.11.0, but always remember, because RIP version 1 is classless, so it will not understand this 11 network. It understand as a /8 only, right? But I am trying to advertise like that. So I have advertised. So I want to ask anyone, if anyone know about it, if anyone can answer. So can you tell me which router is gonna receive routing updates? Either the both, or which one? Anyone? If anyone can tell me. Any idea, guys? You must have done all these kind of things in CCNA, but not that much deep, I think. So anyone know that do R1 going to have routes which is available on R2? Anyone? Yes or no? R2. Okay. So let me, okay, no problem. I'll say show IP route right now. But before that, I want to show you something else. Let me go to this one and again enable the debugs. I'll say debug IP rip, enter. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, here it is. So you can see sending the this one. Okay, can you see now another thing? See this guy, this one. So let me switch it off. You all undebug all means I am just switching off the all the debugs. Earlier it was showing you this way. Where is my debug packets? Okay, here it is. So earlier it was showing you that some packets are coming from the loop back itself and which is ignoring, right? The reason behind that the loop back, which is actually LAN side, which is connected to PC1, uh, though they are trying also they are also trying to send some RIP packets because we have included them in the network, right? But now you can see this guy is ignoring the packet from the neighbor. It's like 192.168.1.2, which is router 2. You can say illegal version. Can you see this? So this is one of the way to identify either the other router is running the wrong version or maybe what exactly you have to do. So to if you debug these things, you will able to troubleshoot. So the thing is in CCNP, we will understand each and everything that how we can troubleshoot in go in little deeper. So okay, so we have understand that the other person is running illegal version, but still we want to see is R1 is going to receive routes? Yes or no? So I'll say show IP route. And remember guys, R1 is running version 2. And if you have seen show IP protocol, so you can say it can send and it can receive only version 2 packets. Are you seeing that? So R1 is going to receive the updates or not? Guys said that it will receive. Um, Prashant said yes. Anjani said yes, but let's me say show IP route. Let's see what exactly it have. Can you see this, guys? It doesn't have anything. Reason being, this is the router which can only receive version 2 packets. It is not accepting version 1. Reason being, it cannot understand what is broadcast. It can only understand what is multicast. So guys, those who said yes, they were wrong. So R1 is not receiving any update right now, right? It doesn't have any kind of route available over here. No RIP routes because RIP stand for R. So you can see there is no RIP routes, only connected routes. So the guys who said yes, wrong. It will not receive. Reason behind it is because this is the version which can send and receive packet only from version 2, right? Not from version 1 because other side is running version 1. But let's see what R1 is going to have. So any guesses, guys? R1 will receive.
Yes,
Why?
I think
Answer.
like yeah, yeah. First you check, then I will tell.
No, no, you just tell me why.
I think like one of the version okay can receive and send also to other version.
See, yes, yes. So I'll say show IP protocols. So you can see version 1 can receive version 2 packets. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's
the
why I
thing.
told.
That's the thing. But always understand that, guys. Let's say. So I'll show you, I'll just tell you some of the scenario over here that you might uh, get into in future or maybe. So right now, this guy can receive version 2 packet. That's what I'm sorry, that's why this guy is receiving the protocols, sorry, the routes. So you can see
Hmm.
this guy is still receiving, but you can see this guy is receiving those packets as /8 only, right? Because it
Yeah,
is running
Bec-
version 1 because it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
doesn't it does not understand the
Okay.
VLSM and the CADR and the classless things. So it is receiving, yes, because it can understand the version 2 packets, but R1 cannot understand the
Hmm.
version 1 packet, right? So let's say if I want to do that, what I can do two things. First of all, I can do things is I can either go to these interface and say that please send the version 2 packets from here. Means convert your broadcast into multicast and send them to router 1. Or either I can go to R1 and say that please try understand the version 1 packets as well. So before that, but before that, where this kind of scenario will comes in, I'll let you know. So before that, you can see these loopbacks, which is representing our LAN, representing our local network, which is connected to some switches and PCs. These loopbacks are also running RIP, but there is no use of running RIP on these. Yes or no? Because they are sending traffic to these loopbacks unnecessarily. The router has to do extra work and saying that, hello, loopback, this is RIP packets. But loopback say, hello, I'm a loopback. I'm connected to LAN. What I do with this? It will drop it, right? So any idea if I want to stop those packets sending to these loopbacks? Any idea? Anyone? Okay, no problem. Let's go to R1. Before that, so I'll tell you about that what we can do on loopbacks to stop these kind of packets, RIP packets, to stop sending these sites, right? You might have learned in CCNA, but you might be not remembering that. So first of all, I want R1 to accept R1 R2's packets, right? So for that, what I should do, so if I'll say show IP route, you can see this guy is not receiving those RIP packets. So what I'll do is I can go to R1 and go to the interface serial 2 by 0 and say IP RIP receive version 1. Are you seeing that? What I'm telling this guy is, hey, R1, understand the broadcast on the your interface CL0 by 2, and let's see this guy will receive the routes in that case. Your Jamal, K value change. K value is in EIGRP, not in RIP. K value is nothing. K value is metric. Here metric is just hop count. Okay. YJ. So I'll say enter. Now any guesses this guy receives is gonna receive the RIP version 1 packets or not? Or it is gonna this guy going to have R1 routes, R2 routes or not? Yes or no? Anyone?
It
It
should
should
receive.
it should receive, right? I'll say show IP route. Nope, it's not there. Any idea? Yeah, here it is. Why it took some time? Because 30 seconds. Guys, RIP version 1 does not support the triggered updates. You might have heard about it. Trigger update means it will not send update immediately when there is a change in topology or is update in the routing table. So that's the reason. So RIP version 2 supports the trigger updates, but RIP version 1 don't. So that's why the RIP version 2 sent packet after exact 30 seconds. So that's why we were waiting on the R1. And you can see, guys, right now, this is having the both the routes which is available in the R2. But here also again a problem that is similar to R1, similar to R2. This guy also having the routes as a class A/8, but these guys are actually have the routes of /24, right? So any idea how should I get these with the help of like /24? Or there is no way because this guy is running version 2. It supports classless, but still this guy has only /8 values. Any idea? I think you must have heard about auto summary, right? So RIP, guys, please mute your mics.
Yes, but this auto summary works in a RIP version 2 also, sir.
Yes, RIP version 2, it works. So what I'll do is, first of all, guys, one more thing. So I'll go to R1 and say router RIP and say no auto summary, auto summary. Auto summary means it will summarize, so which is actually running by default. But I will say no auto summary, right? But because I don't want to summarize any kind of routes over here. If I'll say that, let's see, is there any change in routing table? Right now it's not, right? It will take some time. When it will get the update, it will update it. Let's see, it will update or not. But what I'll do is I'll go to this guy R2 right? Okay. So first of all, let's see that this guy is still receiving those routes as a non-auto summary or not. You can see it is not receiving. Why? I have enabled the I have disabled the auto summarization, but still this guy is receiving as a /8. Any idea? See, this guy now the thing is this guy can send updates in without the summary, but it cannot receive in without the summary. For that, I have to enable that on R2 as well, right? But for that, I have to run rip version 2 on R2 as well to disable the auto summarization. Then we'll see what will happen in R1, right? So what I'll do is config t router rip, and I'll enable the version 2. I'm sorry, router rip version 2, and I'll say no auto summary, right? Now just check show IP route. Okay, so can you see this, guys? Now you will be having double routes over here /8, and this guy will be also having similar that like that. It will take some time because it should receive the update over here. But right now, if you can see, this guy is having two routes for 1/8 and 24, and you can see the timer over here. It is going to expire, guys. Reason being this, because this guy is now running version 2 and I have disabled the auto summarization. So what it has done is it is going to remove these routes from the routing table because these are the classless updates. These are the classful updates actually, right? And you can see the timer should refresh in every 30 seconds. But right now it's more than 1 minute 33 seconds, right? You can see 2 minute 23 seconds. So I told you that the update timer is 30 seconds, and the hold down or the invalid timer is 3 minutes, which is 180 seconds, right? So once the 3 minutes will over, right now it's 2:34, it will mark this route as a possibly down, and another 120 seconds it will remove this route from the routing table. Show IP route. Okay, 2 minute 47 seconds, 2 minute 53 seconds. Here you go, 2 minute 58 seconds, and here you go, right? Can you see this, guys? Here, woo, possibly down. This is showing as a possibly down route. Reason being that that is old stuff now. And let's check about this guy. Can you see this? This guy is also going to expire these routes, right? Because this is also going to expire its hold down timer, which is 180 seconds, which is going to take 3 minutes. So if I'll say show IP route, you can see 2 minute 24 second. Once it will be 3 minutes, these routes will go away and the new routes will come up or not. We will see that, right? But it's
Social.
yes.
Actually, I have a question. Like
Yep.
we can cancel this stuff now, right now.
Which one?
This timing.
I didn't understood what exactly.
Like we can interrupt the shutdown of this, but rip.
Oh yeah, you can for that. See what will happen. You have to enable the auto summarization. Then it will again send the hello packet and it will revive.
Oh no, but it will close or some first time it will close or it will directly start.
No, no, no. Actually, see here it will be 240 second and 360 second, bro. No, what will happen is if I'll remove this auto summarization and
Yeah,
if the route is possibly down, so it is still in the hold actually,
yeah.
right? So still in the hold right now it will be. So in that case, what it will do whenever it will be again, if I'll be enable, then it will run the represent one and disable the not summary, and then it will again come up, and it will send the hello packet again or the update packet, the trigger sorry the periodic update, and then it will revive this route again back, and then it will mark this route as a again the hold down timer and then remove this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
sir.
if yeah, no problem. Can you see this? See these things we want to see what we study actually. So according to this, so it is expired right now, and this guy gonna have new routes over here, right? Oh, it doesn't have right now. Can anyone say why that those routes gone? It's not coming up. So I'll show you few things. I'll say debug IP rip. I'll say what exactly happening over here, right? And let's see. Once the update comes up, you can see ignored version 2 packet from this guy and ignored version 2 packet from this guy, illegal version. Right? So, okay, I'll say show IP protocols. So right now it is version 2. Um, Sorry, go back to 1. I'll say show IP protocols. See, the reason being is I only enabled it version 1 over here. That's the reason. Yeah, yeah, right, right. Let's make it enable, then we'll see. So yeah, so say you all and config t interface serial 2 by 0. I'll say I'll remove that command. No IP rip version. Oh, sorry, receive version 1. Right. So I'll say now show IP protocols. Okay, now it's receiving this one. So now it should not ignore those packets. I'll say show IP route. It's not there. Wait for that update. I'll say debug IP rip. Okay, ignored source packet. Now, why it is ignoring? Still it is ignoring, right? Source address from, okay, this is ignored from the loopback only, not from this one. I'll check that, then show IP route. Here it is. Yep. So you can see now these guys is receiving update as a /24, right? Earlier it was receiving as a /8 only. So this is the good thing about version 2 and that summarization. So always you have to disable the summarization. Now I want to tell you another thing is that I showed you that it is unnecessarily sending the packets on the loopbacks where it should not. Actually, if some hacker is sitting, it can capture those packets and it will come to know about your routing table, entire routing table. So for that, there are two ways. I think you must have understood about the passive interface, right? So passive interface is something which actually stops sending the update on that interface for the RIP specifically, but it will still keep receiving also, right? But it will only stop sending. So there are two things. So the if I disable the like enable the passive interface on this interface serial 2 by 0, so what will happen is R2 routes will never receives on the R1 routes never receives on the R2 because it will stop sending the updates for RIP. But I don't want that because I want these two guys have communication. I only want the loopbacks, which is it is sending the packets, right? It should stop sending the packets to those loopbacks. So for that, I can do, I'll go to R1 and go to router rip and say passive interface loopback 0 and loopback 1 or whatever the loopback I have created. I think I have created loopback 1. So it will stop sending those updates to loopback. So passive interface, you might have studied that in CCNA, but passive interface actual use is to stop updates sending to the LAN side because because in LAN side no router is gonna sit, right, or no person is gonna sit which is going to get the routes from you. So that's why we always enable the passive interface on the loopbacks or on the Ethernet side, or let's say fast Ethernet or gigabit or the fiber optic, whatever is connected to the LAN. On those interface, you always enable the passive interface. There is another way of doing that. So another way of this one is again, see, right now R1 and R2 is a point-to-point person, and they are sending multicast. Let's say if I don't want these multicast also, why? Because I want only unicast, let's say, right? So if you can see this debug right now, it can say it receives a version 2 packet from 192. This is unicast, guys. Why? Because It already know this guy is point to point and it received the unicast. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, let's say if I don't want to send multicast and I want to disable, I want to make all the interfaces as passive, right? And I want to say that only this guy, only these two guys can send and receive, because ultimately my LAN side they don't want, because they don't want to send any kind of updates on the LAN side. Only these two routers should send their updates to each other to communicate these PC1 and let's take the PC2. So PC1 and PC2 from R1 to R2, right? Loopback never goes down, that's okay, but the thing is we can configure as a passive interface. But there is two things I told you. So I told you what is on R1, either you configure the passive interface, make the loopback as a passive interface to not to send the updates, but it is gonna still send the updates to R2, which is multicast, because both are running represent 2. So I'll show you one new thing. So I think you have learned EIGRP also, where you used to configure the command neighbor, right? Either in OSPF you have configured in neighbor command. Guys, in RIB you can do that. To enable that as a unicast, I'll show you how. So if I'll say passive interface loopback one, obviously that will become as a passive and will not send. But I'll do what? I will say passive interface default command. You know what will happen with this? All the interfaces will become passive, right? Either it is serial, either it is your any kind of interfaces, these all will become passive interface actually, right? Similar command if I'll give on R2, let's see, 150 router rip version, I'm sorry, version 2 already there, passive interface default. Once I do that, I'll say, because see, the problem here with RIP is it is very slow because of the timers. It takes some time. But guys, we can change the timers also. I'll show you. And I'll talk you about not today, tomorrow. I'll talk about the load balancing part of the RIP. Okay, let's say show IP route. So these guys, so can you see this? These guys having these routes and it's gonna expire that, because 1 minute 13 seconds. Otherwise, it should have like reschedule with each every 30 seconds, right? But it is, you can see it is gonna expire. Similarly with this guy, it should be, because I made all those interfaces as passive. Show IP route. Yeah, right now it is 49 seconds. You can see again, it's more than 30 seconds. So these routes are gonna expire soon, because what happened is actually right now, sorry, R1 is not sending the RIP version 1 update, and R2 is also not sending RIP version 2 updates, right? Because I made this as a passive, but they can listen, but nobody is sending. Both the sides is nobody is, is not sending, right? So if nobody is sending, then nobody is listening. Yes, making a passive interface can only stop outgoing side, but not the incoming. But right now, this also stops sending outside. This also stops sending outside. That's why these routes are becoming down, right? That's why these routes are going to be down very soon, right? So for that, what I'll do is I'll make them as a unicast communication. I'll show you how. So what I want is, let's these routes expire first. Okay, so that you will understand that how the new routes came in back again with the help of unicasting stuff. So these are actually not a part of CCNA exactly, but yes, like it's advanced routing, you can say. It's advanced deep routing for RIP as well, right? So my motive is to show you this kind of stuff, is to understand that what kind of deepness you can expect from CCNP, right? So we will go this much deep in each and every protocols and understand the debugs and their packets deeply. And then, yeah, it is, man. It is, man. It is interesting. Yeah, when you can see, guys, still it is 2 minutes 32 seconds. Just bear with me for a few more minutes, 1 2 minutes 2 3 minutes. So this guy is already down over here. So I'll show you something good. So still, guys, this is a very good practical actually. Still, I want the communication. If you will ask, maybe somebody is sitting on the interviewer side, if you ask them that I have enabled the passive interface on all the interfaces, and still I'm receiving the RIP updates, he will say that you are mad. But I'll show you can do that. Okay. So here also possibly down, it will take more 120 seconds to remove these routes from the routing table because that's the flush timer of RIP. Okay, so this guy is disabled. This guy is still there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll show you very interesting command. I'll go to router RIP and say, I'm sorry, router RIP, enter, and make sure that running version 2, but it is already, and say neighbor. This is the new command. You might have not seen anywhere. Neighbor, and I'll be telling, hello, Mr. R2, please become the neighbor with 192.168.1.1. That means I'm telling this guy, if you become the neighbor with this guy, but I'm sorry, both side, this command is required. Okay, so I said that neighbor, hello, please become a neighbor. I'll say show IP route. So you can see this guy is also gone. But again, I'll go to this guy and say router rep version 2 that is already there, neighbor 192.168.1.2. I made them a manual neighbor. And you can say I'm just trying to enable the static routing in this actually. Okay. Okay, so let's see what happens here. This is interesting. Show IP route. Woo, man. Can you see this? This guy is still receiving update, right? Why? Because I enabled the, not the multicast, guys. This time I have enabled the unicast. If you say debug packets, debug IP rip, see this. Now, if you see the packets, whatever is coming, you will be seeing they will be sending the, not the multicast. Oh yeah, this is you want to see, guys. Can you see this? Sending version 2 update on this interface and building the update. That's it. There are no multicast sending between R1 and R2. Got it, guys? So this is the interesting thing then we can do in RIP. So you can understand or you can imagine what we can do with the EIGRP. We can play so much, right? Even still, I'll show you tomorrow few things that still you can play with RIP more. So you can see, guys, these two devices right now is actually disabled all the RIP updates on all the interfaces. When I made the command passive interface RIP, it disabled everywhere. But just because of this new command neighbor, they are still receiving the updates. Guys, I'm telling you, if you try to tell this thing to someone, he will be shocked. If you try to show him this kind of practical, he will be shocked. Hey, how it's possible, man? Right? Bhomik, in RIP version 2 only, we can use neighbor command, unicast. Yes, not in RIP version 1. Obviously, you can't, right? Because that is already broadcasted. Right? So, hope you liked it, guys. Hope you understand. Any questions?
Yes,
You
sir.
can ask me now.
Sir, what is beacon packet?
Beacon packet is actually wireless packet, man. When you actually, when your device is trying to
Connected to Wi-Fi.
guide the wireless connectivity, it's called beacon packets. We'll
Yeah,
study.
but yes, sir.
Mhm.
So sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I have a question. Like beacon packet are not encrypted, no?
No, beacon packets are not.
Why, sir?
See, actually, beacon packets are just telling you about what kind of range is available.
Oh, range.
Yes,
And what
wireless
about
range. So actually,
Wireless.
what happens is the strongest beacon packet will come into picture when I see. Let's say if you're moving from you're taking your mobile one place to another, and you're moved into the good network, it automatically detects and connects to other strong wireless network. That
Yes.
depends on the strongest beacon packet actually. So that
Oh,
is not sending any data right now. It is just telling you what kind of range is available.
okay. What kind?
That is why it is not required.
Oh, okay. But if we make a custom beacon packet, then
That's a separate part, man. We can play, we can do anything, guys. This networks. I just think this is the only thing I want to explain you. If we understand the deepest way each and everything which we are trying to do, we can play with it, guys. We can play.
yeah, because I have done what we call as Valent pen testing. Then I got to know about
Yeah,
the
that's separate. We can deep go dive in that. You know, actually, I have Kali Linux with me. You must have know about
yeah
it, Kali Linux and the backtrack. So I used to do a lot of kind of this kind of attacks and beacons and this and that. So
yeah
that's separate
backtrick
part.
is old.
Don't include this in.
Yeah, backtrick is old. Yeah, I have listened
Yeah.
about it. And what
Yeah.
about SDR?
Huh?
SDR,
What about exactly for what?
software defined radio.
Yeah. That one also, but I have not went through in that side that much because
No, but
I've,
you can give some examples like I am curious in this side. That's why I want to
Ga-
know about that.
yeah, I understand that, but let's keep it here because all other will not understand what you are saying.
Yeah, but any guide you can give like
Yeah,
what
we'll look into it. We'll look into it later.
okay. And one more question, last sir.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are telling about active and passive, no?
Mm-hmm. Not active, only passive.
Only passive. Sorry. But in in some of the connection have the passive mode also, no?
No. For passive means it will stop sending updates. That's it. That is in RIP right now.
Yeah, but in other example of routers, we can have also active, no?
No. That is separate thing. That is redundancy, active, passive router. We are not talking about that.
Okay. No, I
Yeah.
have convincing about that only.
No. That is different. That is redundancy. We are not making redundancy over here.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, any other guys have any questions regarding course or regarding this CCNP? So you can ask me. Anyone?
Yes, this is Rohit here, Varun.
Yep. Yep. Rohit. Yep.
Yeah. Like sys and core, I understood. Like, okay, what are the things there? So, what is NRC? Like, what are the things? What are the another things are there in NRC?
See, NRC. I'll show you. NRC is actually more about more advanced routings. I'll show you. See, implementing Cisco Enterprise Advanced Routing, right? If you check the exam topics, it will go into more VPN, more firewalls. Okay. So it is still there, but it is some extra troubleshooting on OSPF and EIGRP. But if you see more on VPN, more on security, more on infrastructure services, management of the network devices. So you can see more on the troubleshooting side. Can you see this? Troubleshoot. Not configure.
Yeah.
Configuration you have done in Encore, but here it is
Yes.
all more troubleshoot and more about the more MPLS and NHRP and this GRE tunnels, more on the security side. Oh, sorry, more on the VPN side like that. You can see
Yes.
35% is layer 3 technologies, load balancing and all these things. Okay. Any other doubts?
हेलो
So we can end the session otherwise. Yeah.
हेलो
Yep. Tell me.
सर मैं सूरज बोल रहा हूँ
Tell me.
सर ये आपका यही टाइम है क्या 7 PM से स्टार्ट हो रहा है
हाँ 7 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है
मतलब ये मंडे टू फ्राइडे या सैटरडे टू संडे
नहीं सैटरडे संडे ये एक्चुअली में आज और कल तो एक कल भी 1 घंटे का ही सेशन रहेगा आज थोड़ा एक्सटेंड हो गया
अच्छा
और नेक्स्ट सैटरडे से 2 आवर्स का सेशन रहेगा सैटरडे संडे 2 आवर्स
मतलब 7 to 9 PM
यप करेक्ट
ओके
ओके गाइस so no other doubts I'm ending the session
So, sir, last doubt.
yeah
what happen if we have a duplicate SAKMP packets like
ISACM
for
packet, that is for
yeah
VPN.
for VPN?
Yes,
If we
that is
set
the
up
ISACM packet. That is for session initiating protocol actually, for VPN. Okay,
yeah.
so it's a session protocol actually when the VPN starts. So duplicate means it's somebody else is trying to send this one. So actually session will not get generated. So what you have to do is you have to clear all the session in that case.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys, take care. We'll meet tomorrow, hopefully. Okay. Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No
Thank you.
problem.
Bye.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, all right.